Today we are making a slow roasted, twice fried porterhouse steak. So we asked our friends over at our favorite blog, Ideas in Food, how they would cook a steak. Like a true professional, they showed us all of their secrets. To start, we're going to score our steak, and we're going to score it about a 1/4 inch deep at around 1 inch intervals. And what this does, it allows the seasoning that we're going to put on to penetrate a little bit deeper than if we were to just rub it on top. So after we scored our meat, we're going to season it. Now, because this steak is about 3 pounds, we are going to season it with 3 teaspoons of salt. A teaspoon per pound is a really good rule to adhere to. So we've got a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne for a little bit of heat. Before I flip it, I like to kind of pat it in there just to make sure that as little falls off as possible. And you want to use all of this. So we are all seasoned. And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and I'm going to stand it up on the bone side, which is the flattest, widest part, so that air can circulate completely around the steak. It's sort of drying it out, concentrating your flavors. After that, I'm going to pop it right in the freezer for 4 to 6 hours. The idea is that it's frozen solid, like a big old steak ice cube. So you know how this is called a slow roasted, twice fried porterhouse? Well, now comes the first fry. And I know you're thinking, like, are you honestly asking me to deep fry a steak that has been frozen? And the answer is yes. The ice crystals that form in freezing help tenderize the meat without having to pound it. And when you put the steak in, the oil should come up about halfway up the steak because you're going to flip it once. And you're frying in canola or rice bran oil. This should take about 3 to 4 minutes per side. Just check the underside first. We are good. I'm going to flip it. Great. So I'm going to let this guy go again for another 3 to 5 minutes. And I think it's looking really nice. So we're going to pop it in the oven around 200 degrees for about 30 minutes. It's going to soften up enough so that we can insert a thermometer. So into the oven it goes. After 30 minutes, you're going to want to start basting your steak. I made a spice butter. I just did that by browning butter, adding spice mixture. I use Bon because I like it. And when you're basting, you can baste with a pastry brush or just kind of spoon it over, rubbing it in with the back of your spoon. As you slow roast this, the color of the steak is really not going to change much. There she is. On the inside, she should be perfectly cooked. But what we lost in the oven, which was that sort of crispy, golden, crunchy, textured crust, we're going to regain by, that's right, frying it again. So this is where our second fry comes in our double fry. Same deal as before, 350. You might notice that your steak is a little bit tinier, a little more svelte the second time around. That's because you're losing a lot of moisture in fat and water. I'm going to take it out of the oil and then put it back on this rimmed baking sheet just to rest before I carve it. So it's the moment we've all been waiting for. It is out of the fryer. It has rested for 10 minutes. It's been through a lot. Now it's time to carve. When you're doing it with a porterhouse, it's nice to do it in 2 parts. I'm going to start by taking off the strip and the tenderloin in separate because you're not trying to cut through bone here. Let's not get crazy. We've freed the tenderloin. We've freed the strip. We have this bone. It's delicious. Please eat it. You know, you can cut it as thick or thin as you like. And there it is, our slow roasted, twice fried porterhouse steak. It's a lot of steps, a lot of time, but the result is pretty insane. For more recipes like this on how to cook like a pro, go to bonappetit.com/clap, as in cook like a pro.